At least we're here with another berry bed.
Okay, so last year I started on the fruit idea, and I started with the blueberries. But once I got into it, I went with blackberries too. So I have 15 plants of blueberries. They're in two separate beds, about 30 inches wide, 12 feet long. There's three beds of blueberries, and I'm finding out that one of those you have to have a lower pH. The preferred pH for them is like a 4 to a 5.5. So I've been adjusting that. What I'm finding is I planted them in a soil that is a 6.5 to 7. So they're going to make a move next year, and I'm going to move them to another section and put in another berry, which we have here. I started these last year's too, and I hit the bullseye. These are blackberries. Now, as you can see, this is my first year with them growing, and look, here's some examples of what we have now. These are
Oh,
loaded blackberries.
they're nice.
There's several thousand in these sections, and they're all over. They're just starting. I've been picking for about 3 days now, and these are what I'm getting. In a couple days, all these red ones will be black, just like these guys, and they'll be ready to go.
Guys, you won't see this like this in the supermarkets. These are way bigger than the supermarket. Is it okay if I try one?
Hmm.
Thank you.
Now, the one end's probably a little tart, but
Guys, it's a little bit tart, but the flavor does not compare with anything that I ever tasted.
I think that I got some in here that aren't.
It is delicious. It is,
I kind of like them a little like that.
yes,
And
I agree.
Only because what it does for me, it makes me want to eat more. Don't
Yeah.
ever do it though. Berries, anything that you eat, your stomach's not used to eating them every day. It'll let you know it.
This is just way more flavorful than any other supermarket berries that I ever ate. These are wonderful.
Like I said, I just was trying. I wasn't really thinking. I kept saying that price at $4 for 6 ounces of blackberries, and now I've got 18 plants, and I'm probably going to pick gallons of these things. I got as she walks through, you'll see they're starting to pop everywhere. And these little guys here, when the time that they're done, they're going to be like that.
Can you believe? Just look how loaded it is. And again, this construction here of this blackberries has been by him,
Oh, bamboo.
and it's made of bamboo, and also it has that netting, and he has put this bamboo over here so it'll hold the rest of all that netting. But just look how incredibly of these blackberries are just everywhere. It's just loaded. I have a little blackberry myself, but mine only has like 3 or 4. Nothing compared with this. And as he said, this is his first year. But
First full year, yep.
First full year. Look at it.
So there's some in here. I know you can come on. You can come on in. This is the section they're just loaded.
Look how beautiful that red is. Wow. So any tips on how to grow this, or why they get so big?
Well, no, I did the same thing that we're doing. I watched a YouTube thing, and the way that the lady was telling me on the first year, which is what mine was last year, you don't cut them down, you don't trim them. The only thing that you took out was if you had any berries. Well, I didn't have any in the spring. In the fall, now the good thing about blackberries is, as long as the weather's right, you can get two pickings out of it. You get the spring or early summer and fall. So it'll depend on what the weather is. What I will probably do is throw a net over or a tarp over this a little greenhouse, so to speak. I've got a tarp that's like 40 by 60, and I'll engineer something and throw over it just so to keep the cold off it, so I can get that second go round in the fall. So I'll probably pick these sometime in the beginning of November. And then after that goes and the berries are done, they get trimmed down, and you'll trim all the stems and everything that produced. But as you see, like this here, that doesn't have too many berries on it, it wasn't even part of my production this year. It just shot up, and you see them, they're starting to come outside of my box now.
Mm-hmm.
I've got them shooting out here, so they just start out. So I take and dig them up, put them in another pot, and then come fall, I'll plant them, and next year you'll be picking on them.
Wow, this is just amazing. And as he was saying, a greenhouse, look what is behind us. A small, genius greenhouse. And of course, this is his creation, his idea, made by his hands. So this is where he starts some of his plants.
And I heated that last year with my wood stove. I have a wood stove in my shop, and I ran a vent underneath. It popped underneath the ground, and I kept that around 75 degrees through February in there. But I had to keep a fan running at the top, because up top it got hotter. So you have to adjust and figure that out.
Okay, is there any more that we can see?
Yes, there's two more ones. Here's some cucumbers this year. There's some carrots growing. I got 2 little rows of carrots. We only have 2 people in the family that like them. And then these are all this is my one cucumber bed that's starting to jump around now. I've got some little ones starting, but this is all the way on the back side of my shed. And asparagus. So this row here is my second year for them. This year I picked about 3 dinners. Next year I'll pick probably 15 or 20 dinners, and then the following year it'll be on like you won't believe, but it'll be more than I want. And another piece of advice, if you have the space, is I made these guys here. These are, my wife gave me potatoes that were growing in our closet. I put them in the ground, and they're starting to come up right there.
Oh, wow. Yes, I see that. Wow.
So these are compost bins. I took 55-gallon drums. I put them on a pole where you can spin them around. And I drilled about 8-10 holes in it. And you take all of your leaves and all of your old bushes and vegetables, and I have an old little chipper that I grind them up in a little bit, and I toss them in there. And you can even go to the store and get the compost starter stuff to put in there, some pellets, and it helps it start. But that's basically, that and manure is what I use as my fertilizer. I put it out in November and get it nice and thinned out and throw it in all the beds. So that's just another idea.
Thank you. Not everybody knows about compost.
If compost, you don't even need soil. If you got good compost, it'll grow right in it.
Thank you for that. Well, everybody, I honestly really want to thank Mr. Greg here, because he is a man that knows what he's doing. He has been doing it for years, but as he just said, sometimes he does have to go to YouTube, and that's the idea behind this video, because just like how he has learned, we all can learn something, and I'm sure you have. I am amazed. I am very motivated to do more. As you have seen in my previous videos of my garden, it needs a lot of work, but I do want to thank you, Mr. Greg, so much for coming out here and sharing all this information with us. And now, as you guys saw, there was a lot of food. Does that mean that he and his family eat it all, Mr. Greg?
No, we don't. I tried to put it out front, so I sell some out front for local people, and it's a lot cheaper than the supermarket, but it's just whatever I we don't use goes out front, and try not to let it go to waste. And that basically helps with all the little things that I do on the side here.
Thank you, and we really appreciate it. I'm also a buyer of yours, and everything that you put out there is great. And really support everybody that does this. Everybody, like he just mentioned, the price is not, he's not getting really paid a lot as how the supermarkets charge, but he just wants to share. So I really want to thank you again, Mr. Greg. I hope that everybody enjoys the video. I hope that you enjoyed this, Mr. Greg, and I hope that we can also share one day what your stand is going to look like. Everything is still growing, but there will be a time where that little stand is going to flourish. So everybody, if you like this video, stand tuned for the next one. Bye.